Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. My name is Banu. We've got Ajay Singh in the studio here with me. So far, how has it been for you?
Good. It's fantastic.
Good? It's fantastic. From good to fantastic. An afterthought or what?
No. I thought I should have said fantastic first.
So, okay.
I'm doing good.
All right. Between, while the commercials were going on, we were just having a chat, guys, and he just told me that he prefers Sri Lanka to all the other countries in the world. I asked why. He didn't give me an answer. He wanted to share with us on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Tell us the most, the loveliest thing in Sri Lanka that you fell in love with.
Well, it'll be unfair to say one thing because I like everything. It's like it's a typical paradise. It's like the paradise earth.
Safe answer.
No, I think it's I see a lot of good things every moment. I would say I would see more good things here than I see in any other part of the world. So
and I think the talent in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and it's like it's such an amazing space to do things.
All right, good to hear. Well, let's talk about the color themes as I talked about to you before, and I kind of reckon that you yourself have pointed out before that it's very, very, when I watch shows, especially on American television and English television, the colors that they use and all these shows that they host are very dull, to be frank with you. It's more blackish, white, grayish, all these, it's very this or that. While in South Asia, in countries like India and of course Sri Lanka, when you watch a TV show or a fashion show, orange, red, blue, green, yellow, it's like a rainbow. Why do you think this is, and do you incorporate those changes when you host something huge as this?
Well, it's very funny. I think I went through this a few years ago, and I realized that I think it's got to do with the environment, the temperature, the whole atmosphere around in this part of the world, because I think colors are really very South Asian. People express in colors. Nice colors in the studio.
Yeah.
So
colors up.
Yeah, and I don't know. To me, the Western world is very grey, black, dark, white.
The colors are
out. Yeah. It's like I think I don't know. Probably when it's raining in London, it's always little. It's like it's always very grey,
gloomy.
Yeah. And I think India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal. We express in colors. I think colors are so intrinsic to everything we do. The festivals are around colors. Colors. Flowers, birds. Everything that you look at is like, I think colors are such an interesting part. Sometimes you take them for granted. And yeah. To me.
So if you actually take the more of color theme to the Western world, do you think it'll be a flop in the Western world, or do you think it'll be a new revolution?
Well, it's if you look at it from fashion point of view, there are colors every year which are called the trend colors. So right now the neons are the colors that a lot of people are designing on. So if you look at shoes, you'll have neon laces, you'll see a lot of things. So it's not correct to say that, but I think their experimentation with the colors, or their involvement with the colors, is a little different than the involvement that we have with the colors in this part of the world.
And I think it comes down to perception as well.
Yeah, perception, expression. I love colors. It's such an amazing thing. But having said that, black and white is also colors, right? So they would they're colors as well. So you would use them at the same time.
Yeah.
But we are more experimental with the other colors, not just the monochromatic, so to say.
Having said all that, just between you and I, and of course the audience, my favorite colors are black and white.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but
there you go. Safe colors. There you go. There's
safe colors, exactly. All right. So, taking everything into consideration, fashion shows, international arena, and Sri Lanka. Since the inception of your own show back in 2003, how do you compare the two? Industry-wise, are we on the right track?
Well, production-wise, the shows that we do at Club of Fashion Week would rub shoulders with the best in the world at the moment. I could say that, right? If you look at the shows, if you go on Fashion TV and see the shows that they're doing there, and look at the Club of Fashion Week shows on Fashion TV, you'll realize that when you look at from a TV audience point of view, the shows are quite quite similar, because we take great care in understanding the production details, right? And because we want it to be the, in the end, we are showcasing the best of Sri Lankan fashion, right? And it has to be shown at the platform that is the best that we can do here. So we use all the resources possible to do it, and every year we try to better it. I mean, I have the big designers who come and show here from overseas. They've come and endorsing that this production is very good compared to where they show, because we don't treat that. I guess when you work within a certain challenges, right? You always innovate, and when you innovate with good intentions, it always kind of work out for the best. It looks good, it comes
it's
out.
always about taking risk as well and taking that leap of faith. Yeah,
absolutely.
So you've done it over the years, and what kind of change? I know you answered the question to me when I asked you what we could expect in the 2014 show, but are there any distinctive differences of what we're going to see this year as with last year?
Well, one key thing that you would see is the quality, the overall quality, because we always, I feel that if we haven't gone a step ahead or two steps.
So you kind of benchmark your own work an year prior, is it?
Yeah, we benchmark our own work, and we are very critical in terms of the quality. When I say quality, means overall quality of the designers, quality of the collections, quality of how they look at their own collections in the marketplace, right? Quality of the shows. Everything, it has to be that, because I think quality also defines what we're doing. Quality is good in terms of perception that the industry of a country is working towards and showcasing, right? So quality is always the benchmark overall, and we try to introduce new things which will in a way, how do I say it, ignite something in the fashion industry, so take it to the next level. So
enlighten something out of something, is it?
Absolutely, so
all right, garments without guilt. Now that's a diversifying step, not relation to fashion, I guess, or something totally different. Tell us about the inception. If I'm right, it began in 2005.
2005.
I'm spot on.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
Well, that was the positioning statement of Sri Lanka apparel industry. The company that I used to work for that time, we were engaged by Sri Lanka Apparel. I was quite passionate about the ethical side of things in fashion. Fashion comes natural, but apparel at that time, and
it's in your blood, man.
I think so. We breathe that all the time. So at that time, I think it was quite a defining moment, because how the global apparel industry was changing with the quota system going out of China. We wanted an edge for Sri Lanka. The company that I used to represent that time, we were given the marketing task of Sri Lanka apparel in a way which will make an impact internationally. So like I said, by God's grace, I came up with that line at that point of time called Garments Without Guilt, and everything else flowed from there onward. And it became quite a statement that gave, the company I worked for at that time won the biggest award that any, Asian company has won. We won a global FE for that in New York, right? And so I think it everything that the Garments Without Guilt touched at that point of time made an impact, because it was right for that point of time to work on, and it became a defining moment for Sri Lankan apparel industry as well. So I'm quite proud to be associated with that. And when I look back and I say, oh wow, it's been 9 years of doing that.
Almost a decade. So you've done these two separate huge tasks, projects, and achieved similar success. And I'm sure that both of them will be amazing in future to come. And so I know it's overloading questions when you ask about the process that you've been taken so far, and the tough asks that people, especially the public, would expect. From your point of view, looking back at this, how do you select the designers for you to be absolutely spot on that the public is going to basically fall in love? What do you exactly look at?
basically to make this whole thing very neutral, right? So there's no bias. We have 3 designers, actually one in Pakistan, one in Bangladesh, one in India. They're on our panel, right? And I keep that little quiet, so I never want to talk about it. Otherwise, we don't want anyone getting to them directly, right? So they are kind of our selection panel. So so every designer who is okay, if you have shown at Fashion Week for 3 years consecutively, you become an automatic choice to show, because we kind of will respect the fact that you've understood every year and gone better, right? The ones who have not shown or who are starting out new, they could go through the selection panel, where their sketches and their ideation process is sent to these 3 designers, who would then give their feedback, not knowing what the other one is giving. That feedback is then passed on to the designer in here, and then they're told to work on that collections, right? So for if any young designer want to apply, which is like we tell everyone, right? They just have to go and apply at colombofashionweek.com, right? And then from there, once they apply onto that, not many designers apply. So they all
so
go
that's
through
step number 1 for any newcomers out there. Go to the site. If you can repeat the site.
No, it's actually the email address, apply@colombofashionweek.com. Very simple, apply@colombofashionweek.com,
Okay.
and write in there that they're interested, and they would be guided through a process. So this is not the Bright Spark shows. These are they are the other designers who would want to be part of Colombo Fashion Week. Even the young children, young students who are actually taking part of the Bright Spark shows, also then graduate to show at the main Fashion Week. But they also go through the same process of ideas to mentor them, to groom them with 3 senior designers who have spent close to 30 years in a global fashion industry, so to say. So we are actually exposing Sri Lankan designers to the best that they would get.
And I think it's a good thing, giving from a layman's point of view here, me that for example, I think it gives the exposure that they need, and it kind of grooms them in a sort of way that they could actually face the real world at the big platform, right? And I think that's a great way, and I think you came up with that idea, is it? Or was it a team?
No. I think every year when we started, every year we add new things to us to make the whole thing very professional.
A lot of brainstorming sessions.
A lot of brainstorming happens, So in the whole management, in the team, and everything. So every year we add something which would take the fashion industry, or at least our designers, to the next level. Like for example, we have tied up. Not many people know this. We have tie-ups with Russia Fashion Week, with Miami Fashion Week, with the Dubai one, Malaysian, and the Pakistan one. And in the past, our designers have shown there as a reciprocal arrangement. Idea was the Sri Lankan designers should get used to showing in bigger platforms. For example, Katie Brown, Kanchana showed at the Miami Fashion Week, and at the Malaysian Fashion Week, and at the Dubai one. Right? Darshi got selected to show at the Russia Fashion Week and the Miami one. Fawzul Hamid showed at the Pakistan one. All as part of Colombo Fashion Week, because they show here. So we try to create platforms for them where their exposure will get even better and bigger. So everything goes back to how can we take the Sri Lankan fashion design industry to the next level. Everything is work in progress.
It is indeed, and it's continuing. That's a good part. Well, it's been a pleasure so far talking with you, but the talk hasn't ended. The chat continues, because I'm going to ask his own opinions on who his favorite designers are and what kind of motivates him to do his job every day. Is there a specific reason why? So if you want to, catch a little bit glimpse of more action, you need to stay with us on Good Morning Sri Lanka. And by the way, do not forget to like us on our Facebook fan page as well. It's www.facebook.com/Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll be back.